Are you tired of feeling overwhelmed and stuck in your current situation? Then it's time for a mindset reset. Join me in my 6-part mindset reset training and learn how to overcome the negative thought patterns that are holding you back. With my proven techniques and strategies, you'll be able to cultivate a positive mindset and start living the life of abundance you absolutely deserve and desire. Don't allow overwhelm to hold you back any longer. Take control of your mindset and transform your life today. Hi, my name is Jay Nixon, and I'm the author of the best-selling weight loss book, The Overweight Mind. Over the years, I've helped countless clients from all over the world transform their lives by improving their mindset. Through my work, I've come to understand that the key to any transformation lies in the power of the mind. As I've seen in firsthand, a positive and empowered mindset can be the catalyst for profound change in all areas of your life. That's why I'm excited to share with you my insights, strategies, and tools for transforming your mindset and living the life you truly desire. By focusing on the power of your mind, you can overcome obstacles, break through limiting beliefs, and achieve your goals, whether it's losing weight, building the dream career you've always wanted, or improving your relationships. So join me on this journey of transformation and discover the power of your own mind to create the life you deserve. If you'd like more information about me, my studio, my program, or my supplement line, you can go to thriveforeverfit.com, find all the information, all my social media links, everything. Let's jump into the training. All right, today's training is absolutely amazing. Training number 5, the power of momentum, how to fortify a winning mindset. You see, here's the truth. Here's your subconscious brain. Your subconscious mind holds the power that you need to create the life you desire. Today, I'm going to teach you my AVE method for creating new neural pathways that are going to allow you to achieve optimal awesomeness and abundance. Today's training is super powerful, guys. Take a bunch of notes, let it soak in. I promise you it will be a game changer for you. We are going to talk about positively priming your beliefs so that you can create a momentum mindset. So what positively priming your beliefs means is really how you're constructing and using the thoughts of your brain. Now, if you think about it, most of the things you do on a daily basis are patterns, they're routines. You don't even realize that you're doing the things that you're doing because you do them so repetitiously. That's the creation of a pattern inside of your subconscious brain. So it's the example of, like yesterday, I talked about driving the car to and from work, which you do every single day. You can kind of do that on autopilot. Sometimes you either leave the office and get home, or leave home and get to the office and you're like, how did I even get here? You don't remember making the 3 right-hand turns. You don't remember using your blinker. Sometimes you don't even remember stopping at the stoplight. That's because subconsciously your brain is activated to do a patternistic thing that you're used to doing day in and day out and day in and day out. But let me give you a quick analogy. This wasn't even part of my notes. I just want to drive into this really quick because it just hit me. Let's say you move. Right? What happens when you move? What happens when your house is no longer where your house used to be, but your office is? So you have to learn a new pattern, a new way, a new route of getting to work. And eventually, over time, you start to develop that same unconscious, subconscious drive to get you to and from work where you don't even realize how you got there. Does that make sense? What that shows you is that you have the power to positively prime, to create new belief systems, to create new patterns inside of your psychology, inside of your subconscious brain. That's going to be very powerful as we drive into tonight. So I need you to believe that before we get into the meat of what it is we're going to talk about. So priming your brain, guys, is nothing more than being able to create and condition yourself with patterns that actually serve you. There are many patterns inside of your subconscious brain that are actually old patterns that are no longer serving you. Tonight, I'm going to tell you how to get rid of those old patterns, create new patterns so that you can positively prime your beliefs to create the momentum lifestyle, the momentum mindset that you actually deserve. So here's the deal. Your subconscious brain holds the power you need to create the life you desire. That's why I just gave you that analogy of driving to and from work. That is all inside of your subconscious brain. Most of the things you do on a daily basis are subconscious brain patterns, meaning you don't actively think, oh my gosh, I need to take a breath. It just happens naturally. All things like that are activations of your subconscious brain, your subconscious neural system. It's so much more powerful than your conscious brain, which really doesn't make any sense. But if you stop and you kind of analyze it, like I just gave you the analogy of the car to and from work, it absolutely makes sense, doesn't it? So tonight, what I'm going to teach you is this. I'm going to teach you how to use the AVE system. So A stands for activation, V stands for visualization, and E stands for emotion. So AVE, activation, visualization, and emotion. You're going to use the AVE system to develop beliefs inside of your subconscious brain so that you can begin to create new, powerful neural patterns that are going to allow you to have the life that you deserve and desire. Who doesn't think that sounds amazing? Who doesn't think that sounds like something they would be down with, right? So tonight's training is going to be ultra powerful. So here's the deal. Powerful beliefs create brain coherence between the conscious brain and the subconscious brain, meaning the two brain pieces, the conscious and the subconscious brain, when they get a cohesive or a coherent message between the two hemispheres, if you will, that's when you get the ingrained powerful belief. When you start to subconsciously believe what you consciously think about, it then becomes a belief. Does that make sense? So you're nothing more than your beliefs. So if you think about that for a second, everything you believe is really what drives your patterns, what drives your decisions, what drives your choices on a daily basis. So if you start to think of beliefs with the power that they actually hold over you, and then the idea or the understanding that you can actually control and or change your beliefs to more powerful, positive beliefs, that's where you're going to get the maximum value out of a training like tonight. So here's the deal. The first thing you have to do is you have to decide the outcome that you desire. So I make all my decisions based on outcome. So think about that for 1 second. What does that even mean, Jay? So a decision that I make is based on the outcome that I want to achieve. Most people make decisions based on the instant gratification of the moment and not on the outcome. So the outcome is the ultimate goal that you actually desire out of life, out of the situation, out of the circumstance, out of the job, out of the relationship, out of the workout, out of everything. The outcome is the driving force behind why you do what you do. So you have to decide the outcome, and then you have to ask yourself this very powerful question. Who do I need to become, and what do I need to believe in order to achieve that outcome? I'm going to say that again. Who do you need to believe you are? Who do you need to become? What do you need to believe about yourself to achieve that new powerful outcome? It might be something like this. I need to understand and believe that I am smart enough to get the outcome that I desire. Here's a really powerful one. I need to believe that I am worthy of the outcome that I desire. And most importantly, you need to believe that you actually deserve the outcome that you desire. I've probably said this 1,000 times on 100 different stages across the country. You will never be, do, or have more than you believe you deserve. I would write that statement down if I was you. That's an ultra powerful statement. You will never be, do, or have more than you believe you deserve. Think about the key word in that. It's believe. It's a belief. If you don't have the belief that you deserve something, if you don't have the belief that you can have something, if you don't have the belief that you can do something, you will not achieve it. That's how strong and powerful you are, your beliefs. And here's the sad reality. Most of the time, we don't believe the things that we truly want. Like, we don't believe we're capable of the things we truly want. So many people come into my studio or come into my world and they tell me, this is what I really want, but this is what I'll settle for. Like, this is what I want. This is what I would love to have, but I'd be okay with this. Stop being okay with this, because that's holding you back from that. If you're okay with this, you're never going to get that. You're never going to get that thing that you truly, really want out of life. You're always going to come up short. So you've got to get rid of this. You've got to get rid of that thing you'll settle for and start going after with reckless abandon that thing that you actually truly want. And here's the good news about all of this. With practice and activation of the subconscious brain, you can begin to embed the new beliefs necessary to help you get the things that you want to be, do, and have. So it's not an issue right now that you don't really believe that you can achieve the things that you want, because everything is practice. Everything is a process. And so this is no different. If you're willing to do the work, if you're willing to actually do the training, do the activation that I'm going to give you today, the activation, visualization, and emotion, if you're actually willing to do the process, you can actually embed new belief systems into your subconscious brain in a very short amount of time. And you'll notice that you'll start to be, do, and have the things that you really want and not the things you're just willing to settle for. I always tell people, you will get out of life what you are willing to tolerate. Think about that for a second. What are you willing to tolerate out of life? That's what you're getting. So if you're tired of the life you're living, if you're tired of the body and the physical health you have, the weight that you are, the strength that you have, the energy that you have, and you're tired of it, stop tolerating it. If you're not making the amount of money that you want to make, if you don't have the lifestyle that you really truly desire and deserve, stop tolerating it. If you're not in the relationship that you want to be in, a loving, caring, empathetic, perfectly synergistic relationship, if you're not there, stop tolerating the nonsense that you're tolerating. Because until you stop tolerating it, you won't get the new thing that you really deserve and desire. Because why? You don't believe you deserve it. We tolerate things because we don't believe we deserve any better than the thing that we're tolerating. Makes no sense. We've got to stop tolerating nonsense in our lives. And here's the beautiful thing about this. A belief is nothing more than a reinforced pattern. Write that down. A belief is nothing more than a reinforced pattern. Can you change a pattern? Yes. All you have to do is change the belief. You have to change that belief with a new, more powerful belief, right? And because of this, because it's nothing more than a reinforced pattern, you have to know and understand that all of your beliefs are not necessarily true. Some of you guys are running old patterns that are out of date, that no longer serve you. And in many cases, they're actually holding you back from the success that you truly deserve and desire, from really what you want. It's about what I tolerated. And it's about what I just told you about toleration. You're tolerating things based on an old belief system that is what you deserve. I hope this makes sense. And I want you to ask yourself a question right now. What patterns in your life are holding you back from where it is you truly want to be? Is it a pattern of poor health and fitness? Is it a pattern of tolerating bad relationships? Is it a pattern of tolerating just making mediocre money? What pattern is it? We all have a pattern that we like to or that we need to change. Because I don't care who you are. We all get to these places of toleration because we've been conditioned to tolerate things. It's like I talked about last night. We use that statement, it is what it is. All it is what it is a statement of what you're willing to tolerate. If you use the phrase, oh, it is what it is, that just means you're willing to tolerate what it is. It's not it is what it is. You've got the power to make a decision and change your belief system around what it is. But if you just say that, then it's your brain's cue. It's your way of letting yourself off the hook to say it is what it is. I'm just going to keep tolerating this because I've always tolerated it. That doesn't sound fun to me, guys. That's a bummer. And we've got to get better than that. We deserve better than that. You deserve better than that. You wouldn't be here tonight if you didn't want more than that. So tonight, we no longer tolerate. After tonight, you are going to make a list of the things in your life that you are tolerating, and you are going to make the conscious public declaration that you are no longer going to tolerate nonsense in your life from yourself or from anyone else. And what I see from most people is they tolerate nonsense from themselves. And when you tolerate nonsense from yourself, you're going to get nonsense from other people because we teach people how to treat us. We teach money how to treat us. We teach our body how to treat us. You get what I'm saying here? Who's the driving force behind all of this? We are. I am. Today, I'm going to teach you how to deactivate those old patterns, and I'm going to teach you how to embrace the new patterns that will help you create the momentum that you need. Here's a mantra I want you to write down. This isn't even part of the training, but it's something I think about and something I use. I can't even remember who told me this. Anytime a toleration comes up in your life, anytime a pattern comes up in your life that you no longer want to be a pattern, that you no longer want to be true of you and about you, I want you to say this phrase. I want you to say, that is old, I am new, goodbye. It seems so simple. It seems so, this is what I told you guys last night. Most of you guys won't do these things, and I'm gonna yell at you in a minute. I'm gonna have to get harsh with you in a second. So just be prepared for that. Most of you won't do this because that sounds so silly. That sounds so silly and so easy to do, Jay, that it can't possibly work. That is old, I am new, goodbye. Write it down and use it every time an old pattern presents itself. Every time you find yourself tolerating behavior, a place, a space, anything of yourself or of another person, you simply say this, that is old, I am new, goodbye. And you wash your hands of that old toleration and you build a new, powerful pattern that will start to serve you and give you the life that you deserve and desire. Here's the truth about all of this. This is nothing more than practice and a process. The truth is the development of a new pattern can take between 66 and 365 days to implement. That's not to say that you can't develop a new pattern quicker than that, but on average, and I'm going to tell you why this is. On average, it takes most people between 66 and 365 days to create a new pattern. Do you want to know why? Raise your hand if you want to know why. Hell, I want to know why. It's because we're not consistent and committed enough to create the pattern faster. Because the truth is this, if you'll get consistent and committed enough about anything, you can triple down on this process and you can actually create a new pattern, a new belief system much, much faster. But what you've got to do to that is you've got to make the decision about the toleration. And you've got to stop tolerating things, because every time you keep tolerating the thing that you want to change, it reinforces the neural pattern that you've been stuck with for so long. It reinforces the old program. It reinforces the old belief system. And when you reinforce something, it gets stronger. The only way to deactivate the old pattern is to kill it, is to crush it, is to burn the boat on it. You will no longer tolerate that thing. That is old, I am new, goodbye. And then it's gone. And then any time that he or she starts to pop her head up and that voice starts to talk about that old toleration, you shut it down immediately. And that will build a powerful, positive practice in your brain. And that will help you develop a new neural pattern much, much faster. But here's what that means as well. You got to start now. If you want something out of life, you better start now, because now is the only way you're going to get it done. You're not going to wait. It's not going to happen if you wait next week, the week after, blah, blah, blah. You got to do it now. Here's what I want you to listen. I'm going to go ahead and concede that we're all going to start now. I'm going to believe that in my heart, because I wish I could come through the computer screen right now, shake each and every one of you and make you tell me I'm going to start now, Jay. I'm just going to believe that just happened and you're going to do it. So write this down. Visualization is stimulation, which creates activation. I know that's a lot of Asians. So visualization is simulation, not stimulation, simulation. Visualization is simulation, and simulation creates activation. That's tough to say like 10 times out loud. And here's the truth. Positive beliefs, positive affirmations, positive mantras can be used to program your subconscious brain. And tonight I'm going to tell you how. So many of you, if you've ever followed me for any amount of time at all, you know that I'll post quite a bit about making a strong statement, like an I am statement, something as simple as I am strong. So really what that is that's an affirmation or a mantra. I am strong, I am powerful, I'm smart, I am witty, I'm funny, I'm good looking, I'm whatever it is you want to be, right? That's a powerful mantra and affirmation, but it's not strong enough. It's a process. It's a step in the right direction. I need you to believe that about yourself, because remember, who do you have to be and what do you have to believe to get what it is that you want to get out of life? That's a powerful question you've got to ask yourself. And then you've got to reinforce it with the answer. I'm going to have to be strong to get what I want. So in order to get that, you're going to have to be able to say, I am strong, powerful, anchor, right? Anchor that into your subconscious DNA. I deserve this. I'm deserving of whatever it is that I want. But here's the deal. In order for a mantra, an affirmation, a belief, a new pattern to have the power necessary to create the new neural processes and the cohesion between your subconscious and your conscious brain, it has to have 3 vital components. And this is where most people go wrong. I want you to write these 3 vital components down. And here's what most people, can I get a drink of water? Thank you. Let me get a little sip of water. I may or may not have had too much coffee today. I don't know. I don't even know if that's possible, but it's possible for me, because I'm a little fired up. Okay, write these 3 things down. These are 3 critical components that your beliefs, your patterns, your words, your everything must contain in order for you to rewire and repattern your subconscious brain, to get rid of those old patterns and create new powerful ones. Okay, number 1. You must have a concise choice of positive words. I am strong, right? That's a concise choice of positive words. You must have clear visualization. That's number 2. Clear visual. I'm going to explain all these. Clear visualization. And number 3, the most important part. Number 3, write this down, circle number 3. It must have a corresponding feeling. I'm going to explain that to you. That's the anchor. The more you guys are around me, the more you follow me, you're going to listen to how I talk about anchors, and anchors will be a pivotal part of your success. Here's what most people don't do when it comes to visualizations, affirmations, beliefs, patterns, the whole 9 yards. They simply just say the words and they have no visualization and no feeling. They say, oh, I'm strong. Are you? I mean, do you even believe you are? Remember what I said earlier? Most people don't believe the things that they even tell themselves. Most people don't believe the things they tell themselves because they haven't anchored that belief system into their DNA. If I say something, I am strong, you can bet your ass I believe that I'm strong. Like it's not a half-ass process for me, because I'm using a concise choice of positive words. I can clearly visualize what I believe I am with the strength, and the corresponding feeling that goes through my body when I say that is unbelievably powerful. I'm going to give you that same skill set tonight, unless you don't want it. If you don't want it, I'll shut it down. We've done it. I'll do it. You're right. I'm going to do it. Okay, here's where most people go south. They just go through the motions. Can I give you an example of this? So somebody posted today, I think it was Tiffany. She said, hey guys, who has done the training from yesterday? Who's done the 6x6 and the AIA? Every post I saw under that was like, I've done the 6x6 breathing 3 times today. I do it every day. I've done it for years, blah, 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 blah. Not one person posted about the AIA. Not one person talked about the awareness, the intention, or the action. You see, most people just go through the motions because the breath work is the easy part. And we all, as humans, we always do the easy part. But the messy stuff, the work, is in the awareness. Why am I feeling the way I'm feeling? What's my intention behind doing the breath work? What's my intention about the awareness that I feel? And then what action am I going to take to anchor the utilization of the breath work in the AIA? See, so many of you went through the motions today, but you didn't anchor with a powerful response because you only halfway did the exercise. Is the breath work good? Absolutely, it's good. Unbelievably powerful. But is it as powerful as it could be? Is it going to get you to the next level of where you need to be? Probably not. But if you combine it with the AIA, and then after tonight, if you combine it with what I'm going to teach you tonight, you, my friends, have got yourself a powerful tool that can be utilized in any and every situation. But if you don't, you're just going to be somebody who has really great breath work, which is awesome, but it's not going to get you where you want to go. It's not going to deactivate old patterns. It's not going to reinforce new patterns. It's not going to give you the powerful, positive life that you deserve and desire. It's going to help your stress a little bit, which I love. but it's not what it could be. Do what it could be. Stop tolerating from yourself just doing the easy parts, because it's in the easy parts that everybody hides. That's where everybody hangs out. Everybody hangs out in the easy parts. It's the road less traveled that you need to start going down. And that's the work. That's the AIA. Here's an example of what I'm talking about. Concise choice of positive words, clear visualization, corresponding feelings, okay? If I say the words, I love apples, right? That's a concise choice of positive words. Jay loves apples. When I say the word I, my brain knows that I'm talking about who? Me. So it's very clear. I love apples. So my brain knows I'm talking about myself. When I say the word love, my brain knows that Jay likes apples. He enjoys apples. He adores apples. He loves apples. Jay's an apple guy. My brain's smart enough to figure that out. Here's where the issue comes in. When I say the word apple, my mind gets confused because it goes through and it searches my entire database. This is a supercomputer right here, guys. It's full of things that you don't even know it's full of. So when I say the word I love apples, my brain has to make a decision. What apples does Jay love? So my brain goes through my entire database of apples. My whole subconscious brain since the day I was born that have an association with apples. My brain says red apples, green apples, yellow apples, Washington apples, Fuji apples, crisp apples, apple pie, Apple Watch, Apple iPhone, Apple MacBook, anything that's called Apple, my brain starts to process. And then my subconscious brain has no idea which apple I'm talking about. And here's the truth about that. The confused mind says no. Think about yourself. When you're confused, do you ever usually say yes? Or what do you do when you're confused? You walk away, right? The confused mind says no. Just stop for a minute, pause, and I want you to think about yourself. What do you do when you're confused? You don't usually say yes. You don't usually make a decision when you're confused, do you? No, when you're confused, you don't make a decision. When you're confused, you don't know what decision to make, and therefore a confused mind says no. So if I'm doing my visualizations, if I'm using a concise choice of positive words, if I'm going through that process, if I'm working on all the things that I need to do to get to where it is I want to go, I've got clear visualization. That's the key. I've got to get clarity around that. So this is why words alone are not enough. This is why visualization is important. So when I say I love apples, I need to visualize that bright, shiny, glossy skinned red apple. I can feel the texture of the apple when I close my eyes. I can actually feel how it feels in my hand. I can even we've all bit into an apple before. It has a very unique smell. Close your eyes right now and visualize yourself biting into a red, beautifully red, no marks, the most gorgeous apple you've ever seen. Visualize yourself right now. Close your eyes. Visualize yourself biting into that. Can you actually smell that like sweet, sugary smell that apple has? I can, right? That's powerful. Then my brain says, oh shit. Jay's talking about that bright red apple that when he bites into it, it has that smell and that aroma that reminds him of when he was a kid. So when I say I love apples, my brain knows because I'm using visualization of the apple. I'm actually picturing it in my mind. My brain knows I'm precisely talking about a bright red apple that is beautiful, that is gorgeous. I can taste that apple. So my brain understands what it is that I want. This is why combining words with visualization is not only important, it's imperative. If you just use the words alone, 9 chances out of 10, your brain's going to get confused on what it is you want, not going to be powerful enough, and you're not going to anchor that thought into your brain. And here's the last part. The trifecta is when you add an emotion. I just did it for you. It's when you add an emotion to that visualization, to the concise choice of positive words, because emotion equals energy. So when I just said close your eyes, visualize the red apple, picture yourself biting into it, think about the smell. Smell creates emotion, right? It's like when you would go to your grandma's house and she used to make something. Like my grandmother was a baker. She'd bake biscuits from scratch. You could park the car and get out and smell whatever it was my grandmother was cooking in the house. And you knew exactly what it was. And I can recall that now just by closing my eyes, because that emotion is connected to the energy of how much I love my grandmother and how much I used to love going to see her, because then I'd walk in the house. It was the house, and it was filled with the beautiful smells of whatever she was doing. It was also filled with her love. And that's how the emotion becomes so powerful. So the famous scientist Tesla said this: to find the secret of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. Everything in the universe, guys, is made up of a frequency, an energy, and a vibration. That includes you. You vibrate at a certain energy. Your thoughts have a certain energy. Your subconscious brain is filled with patterns of vibration, frequency, and energy. An example is this. So the emotion of anger might vibrate at like 20 hertz. The emotion of happiness would vibrate at 30 hertz. So if you tap into your subconscious brain and you download those vibrational patterns, whichever one of those two vibrations that you focus more on, whichever one is more in tune to who you are, is what you are going to attract to yourself. Meaning, like attracts like, energy attracts energy. Have you ever thought about why you attract the things into your life that you attract into your life? The people, right? The people that you're drawn into. I'm going to give you some great analogies on that. We're almost done with this piece, and I'm going to tell you I'm going to end tonight with a powerful, I'm just going to end with it. Forget it. Just keep going. Let's keep going, because I don't want to get too excited. You know me, I'll get on a soapbox and I'll go crazy. So this is why it's so important and so imperative that you do the three things: concise choice of positive words, clear visualization, and corresponding feeling. This practice builds the vibration and the frequency in your subconscious brain. So by doing these three things, you're building a frequency and a vibration in your subconscious brain. That frequency that you're building begins to attract the things that you want out of life, because the things you want out of life all have a frequency and a vibration. It all goes back to the belief system of you will never be, do, or have anything that you don't believe you deserve. Because if you don't believe you deserve something, you can't vibrate on the frequency necessary. You can't possess the energy, the attitude, the enthusiasm, the momentum necessary to achieve it. For example, let's listen to this. This is a really powerful thing. Relationships. We attract the same kinds of people in patterns. Think about your friend, not you, because you make great decisions. Think about your friend who makes horrible decisions with guys or girls. They keep dating deadbeat guys or deadbeat girls. They always go after the bad boy that breaks their heart. They always go after the girl that doesn't, is not really in it for love, right? Think about those people that do that. They keep attracting the same person because that's the frequency that they vibrate at. And everybody says, gosh, I wish why can't they just pick a better guy? Because they don't vibrate on the frequency of that better guy. They won't pick a different guy until they begin to believe that they deserve a different guy. And through that belief system, they will have to develop the new patterns of the energy and the vibration and the frequency of that person that they truly desire. That may not make a lot of sense to you, but just really try to download that thought process into your brain. This goes the same for your friends, guys. This is an even easier analogy to understand. Think about your friends, the people you're drawn to. We like people who are like us. And a better way to state that is this: we are drawn to people who have the same energy or whose energy matches our energy. Have you ever walked into a room and you were instantly attracted to somebody, not from a physical perspective, but you're like, there's something about this person I just like. Like, I like being around them. They're fun. They make me feel good. When I leave, man, I just feel so much better about life. You've been around that person? It's energy. You ever walked into that same room and there's somebody in there and you're like, get me out of here. This person is just everything they do, everything they say, they just irritate me and I don't know why. It's energy. We are drawn to people who are like us. And that's a belief system. That's a vibration. That's a frequency. So if you understand how the subconscious brain works and you know that it's just a program that's running, that means that program is reprogrammable. So if you use a concise choice of positive words, if you use clear visualization and you attach a corresponding feeling to that visualization and the concise choice, here's what a concise choice of positive words, guys, is. What is it? It's that, not this. A concise choice of positive words is exactly what do you want? Who do you need to be? Even if you are who you already think you need to be, reinforce that. I believe that I'm strong, but I tell myself all the time, I am strong, and I've reinforced it with powerful visualization. I reinforce it with an emotional feeling that comes over me when I say those words. We need to reinforce patterns. So whether you are where you need to be or whoever you need to be at this time, reinforce that pattern, and that will build stronger neural pathways that become impenetrable to new and bad vibrational things that come your way. I work on this so often that I actually repel energy that is not of the energy that I want to attract into my life. I have a beautiful force field around me at all times. I can spot negative energy coming from a mile away, and I will not let it into my world. I will destroy it. It's like, I mean, I don't watch Star Trek or Starship or one of the ships where all the whatever. There's a force field around me that I've created through my energy, through my vibration, through my frequency of what it is that I know that I want out of life, who I know I want to be, what I know I want to have. And I know the beliefs that I have to have in order to have that. And that comes with what I won't tolerate. And I won't tolerate negativity. I won't tolerate drama. I won't tolerate nonsense. And through not tolerating those things, I don't get those things. People who love drama, people who are negative, are not attracted to me. I repel them, and not by anything. It's just that frequency. They just know. Like, they just like, probably not my dude. But people who want to be around somebody positive and powerful, who's just, I mean, I'm jiving that way 24/7, they'll be drawn to me. And there'll be something about that connection that we have, and it'll be powerful. But if they're not, if there's somebody who thrives on negativity, thrives on drama, thrives on nonsense, I'll repel them, and I won't even know I'm repelling them. They just won't be attracted to me, and they'll naturally move away from me. So if you're attracting into your life drama, nonsense, things that you don't love, it's because of the energy that you're giving off. It's okay. You can change that energy. You can change that pattern. I gave you the tools tonight to make that happen. We're not done yet. Don't go anywhere. So those are the 3 critical components. I hope you wrote them down. If you didn't write them down, they're in your program guide. But here's what you actually have to know, that you can actually change the circuits. You can change the patterns of your brain using these 3 things: concise choice of positive words, clear visualization, and corresponding feeling. I'm going to give you a quick analogy right now on how powerful visualization is. So there was a study done. So they made 4 groups of people, and all 4 of these groups, everyone they chose had never in their life played the piano, had never touched a piano, didn't know how to play the piano, doesn't know what a chord, a scale, anything is. They just know that there's white keys and black keys, and they bang on them like crazy. They divided them up into 4 groups. It was a 2-week study. They took all the participants and they scanned their brains before they started. So they scanned everybody's brain no matter what group they went into. So they divided them into 4 groups. Group number 1, they gave them, and all you had to do for this study is you had to show up every day for 2 weeks. Group number 1 shows up every day for 2 weeks. They give them the scales and the keys that they're going to play one-handed. So they give them scales and keys, and they say, I want you to practice this simple little thing over and over and over again for 2 hours every day for 2 weeks. They told them exactly what to do, when to do it, how to do it. These people showed up. They played the keys just like they were told for 2 weeks. And after those 2 weeks, they actually rescanned their brains, and they had developed a whole new set of circuits, pathways, and neural responses that they did not have 2 weeks prior. So this is what I'm telling you earlier. I said 66 to 365 days. It doesn't have to be that way. If you get laser focused and dialed in, and you actually go through the processes like I'm teaching you tonight, like I taught you last night, you can speed that up. Crazy. You can get there much faster, 2 weeks. So in 2 weeks, they developed new neural pathways in their brain. Their brain worked differently in 2 weeks. Unbelievable. But that makes sense, right? Because it's a learning is memory, and memory is repeating something over and over and over and over again. Group 2, they said, group 2, we need you to show up. They scanned their brains. They said, we need you to show up for 2 hours, 2 weeks, and we just want you to play randomly. Just get the piano and bang around it like you did when you were a kid. Do whatever it is you want to do. Like just 2 hours, knock yourself out. After 2 weeks, they scanned their brains. No change. no new neural pathways, no new connections, no new circuits. Nothing had changed inside of their brain, right? Because they didn't build any new pathways because they had no instruction. They were just kind of left to their own devices to play anything they wanted to play. Nothing changed. Boo-hoo, right? Group number 3, they said, guys, don't even show up. You don't have to do anything. We'll see you later. They scanned their brain, normal, scanned their brain at the end, nothing changed, right? Makes sense. They didn't even show up. They never even touched a piano. Here's the magic group. This is going to anchor everything that I've told you about tonight. Group number 4, they said, all right, guys, we need you to come in for 2 hours every day for 2 weeks. We're going to show you exactly what we showed group number 1, the one-handed exercises, the scales and the keys, the same way we showed group number 1. But instead of actually physically touching and playing the piano, you are simply going to visualize yourself making those keystrokes with your hands. You're going to visualize the piano. You're going to visualize you doing the scales and the keys that we have taught you repetitively. And you're going to do that over and over and over again for 2 hours a day for 2 weeks. At the end of the 2-week study, they rescanned that group's brains. They never touched a piano. And their brains lit up, activated new neural pathways, new neural circuits, new patterns, the exact same way that group number 1 did, who actually played the piano, touched the keys, and did the same work. Think about that for a second. That shows you the power of this thing right here. It shows you the power of concise visualization. So they didn't just say, hey, play whatever you want. They showed them exactly what to play. Just like I said, concise choice of positive words. The word concise means be very thorough, be very poignant on what words you choose, right? Visualization. This is what they did. They visualized themselves playing, and they attached the emotion to that visualization. That's what anchored in the new circuitry. So what this tells you is that you are capable of creating new neural pathways, new patterns, new behaviors, new beliefs inside of this supercomputer anytime you choose to do so using the techniques that I taught you tonight. I mean, how amazing is that? If you're not saying wow right now, something's wrong with you. Like, that is pretty amazing, guys, that they could come in for 2 weeks and not touch a piano, but have new neural pathways inside of their brain, just like group number 1 did, who actually played the piano. So imagine what would happen if you began this exercise tonight. If you began to do everything that I've taught you tonight, every single day, using concise choice of positive words, powerful visualization, and attaching the emotion to it, you would develop new habits, new rituals, new patterns, new standards, and they would be more powerful than you could ever believe, because you're going to create new circuitry inside of your brain. Your subconscious brain and your conscious brain are going to begin to be cohesive in the thoughts of the things that you want. Those things that you want to be, do, and have, you're actually going to believe that you can be, do, and have those things. Your subconscious brain is going to activate on the energy of those things, and you're going to begin to attract more of what it is that you deserve and desire into your life. So I want you to think about something really quick. Think about the person who practices, because this is all this is practice. Think about the person, somebody you know. I want you to visualize right now, somebody you know, the person who practices being a victim every day. We all know somebody who's a victim. We all know somebody who has a victim mentality. Think about how fast they can turn that on and how powerful it is when they do it. It almost becomes second nature to them. They weren't born a victim, guys. So if you're somebody who likes to dabble in that victim mentality, here's what I want you to learn. You don't have to be that way. You can actually reestablish and create new neural pathways of a victor, of a winning mindset, a mindset that's going to get you the things you deserve and desire. Because I'm going to be honest with you, victims don't get the things out of life that they really deserve and desire. They get the things out of life that they tolerate, because a victim will tell you right off the bat, it is what it is. Because they stay stuck. They become addicted to being stuck in that behavior. If you're somebody who's stuck in that behavior, here's all you have to do. You have to begin this new practice of visualization using powerful emotions tonight, because this is all learned behaviors. Being a victim and being a victor are both learned behaviors. And if it's a learned behavior, that means you can change it. And how you change it and how you anchor it is through repetition. That's why people who are victims are so powerful in their victim brain, because they've done it so many times. That victim mentality is repetitious. On the other side of that, don't you know somebody who's a victor? Don't you know somebody who, no matter the obstacle, no matter the adversity, no matter the challenge, they're like, this guy wins. He wins every single time. How does he do it? It's because he's conditioned himself. She's conditioned herself to win. She believes she deserves more than the situation. Remember last night I said your circumstances don't define you. Your circumstances don't have to change before you begin to believe that you deserve more of that, more of what it is that you want. This is exactly how you get out of that. The beliefs and patterns of a winner, guys, are powerful. And that is what will propel you into the next dimension and the next layer of who you truly deserve and who you truly desire to be. That AVE method's pretty cool, right? Pretty cool that you can create new neural pathways that allow you to think differently. And when you think differently, you speak differently, you act differently. Everything is different and everything is better. Use the strategy, use the tool, implement it into your daily life, and I promise you, you'll start to create momentum. You'll start to fortify that winning mindset, and everything in your life will get so much better. Now get ready, guys. We've got our final training number 6, the power of momentum. The power of momentum and how you can use this to level up your life and surround yourself with a winning circle. Surrounding yourself with the proper people will propel you to heights you've never even imagined. I'm going to teach you the value of your circle of success in training number 6. It will be mind-blowing, I promise, for lack of a better term. It's going to change the way you think. It's going to change the way you behave. It's going to change the way you look at your circle. Do you have a circle of success, or do you have a circle of chaos? I'm going to answer those questions for you, or I'm going to help you answer those questions in training number 6. Get ready. It's going to be awesome.